Hi everybody, I got a little video to share with you today. This is about the Swiss Volcano stove. I've seen where a lot of people have done modifications to them. They have done everything from getting rid of the bottle that's inside to cutting the wires off to cutting the bottle inside. I've seen where people have actually cut this hole out to fit a Trangia stove even. Well, my little mod doesn't really take anything away from it, just simply add something to it. And kind of got an idea what it is already. I usually just use the cup just to drink out of on its own. I don't actually boil on it. You can, but I find it works pretty good, this little method what I'm doing here. I got this dude full of cold water up to about right here. And pretty much what I found is this thing works great as an alcohol stove. And the thing is, if you're bugging out, I mean, you're going to be possibly here, possibly there. You may be in a place where you can't actually have a fire, so this would be a really good solution to that. Or, you know, it may be cold as crap outside and you need something that you can actually boil water with on the inside. Power might go out in your house. There's another good solution there too, is that you can use this to you know, cook yourself, well, in this case boil some water in order to be able to heat something up with. And because I use different types of fuel and everything, that's the reason why I have the cat stove. That's what this is. Basically just a little alcohol stove made from a can of cat food. Throw that down for now. But all I did, actually, no, this came from potted meat. I don't know if there's really a difference. It might be a little taller. I just took some hole punches and poked holes all the way around it. You can actually cook on this thing like that. You can, using denatured alcohol today, you can fill this dude up. Actually, just set the can right on top of it. And what happens is, after you've let it actually get hot in there, where the liquid gets hot enough, it'll start to get to where it tries to come out the side a little bit. And when you ease your pot down on top of it, you'll get a nice little burn all the way around, just like a gas stove on in your kitchen. But we're not going to do it that route today. You can do it that route inside of here by simply drop it. Oh, I would do that wrong, wouldn't I? Here we go. No big deal. Luckily, it didn't have nothing in it yet. Like I said, you can actually cook this thing with the bottle all the way down on it. The only problem with doing it this way is that, like I said, you have to give it time for the fuel to actually heat up, and then you have to ease the bottle down on there, which, as you can see, is a little bit kind of like, where am I at, you know. This method, though, like I'm about ready to show you, works really great for the setup, which is plain and simply leave this cat stove off in here and use this little foot piece that was designed inside of the kit for this bottle to set on. I've tried it both ways. I've tried boiling water with the bottle up here on this little foot piece, and I've tried it all the way down on the cat stove itself. And what I've noticed is that this one little bottle of denatured alcohol will more than be enough to fill up this container. But if you fill it up right to where the vent holes are, and you, like I said, you got this bottle full of cold water, that's just enough alcohol to get a good little rolling boil here for like a minute or two, kill all the bacteria and crap out of it. And then you got, like I say, good clean water to work with. The beautiful thing about that is you don't have to worry about using your gloves or anything to, you know, try to grab around flames and all that. Or you don't have to use a, something like this fish spanner I use as a bottle grabber. There we go. So it works out good, like I said, with this setup. And let's get it started. So what we're going to do, like I said, denatured alcohol in a little mouthwash bottle. Because they're small, they pack real light, and these bottles are right at 2 ounces. but it kind of gives you a good idea of your measurement. That stuff stinks. Don't smell much better when you're cooking either. But it's not supposed to be, anything that's going to kill you, so should be fine. Pour stuff in there. If you can get a better way to pour this in there, I would suggest, just try with what you got. Otherwise, you're going to be having to slowly pour it in there and be careful. Perfect. Like I said, that one amount, 2 ounces, was just right up underneath the vent holes on the cat stove, the little burner. So what we're going to do, and we're going to leave the cork in. Everybody knows that once you keep a lid on top of the pot, it does seem to heat up a little bit better. Don't press the cork in, leave it to where it just kind of barely sits on there, or otherwise it will pop off under pressure. But as it sets just like that, should be good to go. You can light this thing any way you want to. I'm just going to do it the easy way for camera here. All I'm doing is using this little fish spanner to make sure the this burner is perfectly centered there. Nothing to it. Boom. You can handle it a little bit. As you can see, it's burning pretty good off in there. Just make sure the cork's on there where it's just snug a little bit. Another thing too I've noticed is that when you do it the other way I was talking about, where you actually set the container all the way down on the stove, is that, like I said, you got that time that you have to actually let the fluid warm up. This way the fire actually starts, heating this bottle up almost instantly. Now there are some times that, like I've done this where there's a little bit of a breeze, and the flame will come up and it'll come out these little holes right here a little bit. But, I mean, it's not hurting anything. So if you're going to use this thing with denatured alcohol or PGA or heat or something like that, it's going to be a clean burning kit. You're not going to have to worry about sooting up your bag or anything like that as bad either. Let me turn this around and get a better view myself. Oh yeah, burning like a champ. Yeah, I've been a big fan of this setup for a long time. I wanted to get one. I always thought it was super cool. And when I got one, the first thing I thought of, I was like, well, I wonder if I could just, use alcohol in there. That way, like I said, if I am in a bug out situation or something, I would actually be able to cook indoors. I wanted to get an actual cook set for my bug out bag that was universal fuel, which this is universal fuel because it was actually meant to where you can use little gel tabs in there. You can use twigs. You can, like I say, you can use alcohol stoves like this. I think they actually make a little small one that fits off in there. I don't believe the Trangia will fit off in there. If it does, it won't fit off in there and be able to control the simmer mechanism. And now we're basically waiting. Like I said, from what I've experimented with, I've noticed that once this thing starts to run out of fuel, you can pop this little cork off, look inside there, and it will actually be boiling. I know, what fun watching water boil, right? But leave the cap on there, that way I can feel a lot of heat coming up through there. Leave the little cork in there, that way it kind of speed up the process a little bit. Now, I've noticed that some people say you can get these things real cheap. On Amazon, these things run about 40 bucks. It's kind of a bit of an insane price. You can find them at some military surplus stores, and they're not too bad a price there. I don't know if you can hear that little sizzle where the condensation coming off the bottle is actually hitting off in there. It does have a nice pretty blue flame rolling up through there. And like I said, I mean, the beautiful thing with this is that cat stove, you can wrap it up in the equivalent of a sandwich bag. That's basically what this is. And it will fit perfectly off inside of this cup. When you put that cup on top of there, it actually cuts down some of the rattle. Because before, I mean, there's a little bit of headspace between the cork and this bottle when you got it all closed up. So there's a little more rattle. But this way, it not only helps keep the cork in, that way, like just now when I brought it over here and I had water in it, you can transport your water in this setup without having to worry about it spilling out everywhere from this cork coming loose. Because I actually had to raise it up some. Lord. I actually had to raise it up some in order to see what I'm saying? Sometimes a little alcohol burns up the sides there. No biggie.